Hey y'all, it's your girl, Miss V. Straight Talk with Miss V in the building today. We have Mrs. Tiffany Flowers hyphen Chatman. Did I say it all correct?
That's right.
Okay, I want to make sure that hyphen is in there, that Mrs. is on there, because that makes a big difference of who you are.
That's right.
Because I'm Miss V. Y'all know why. She divorced. It is what it is. All right. Anyway, so Miss Tiffany is going to give us basically her journey from beginning to how she became such a triumphant spiritual businesswoman that she is today. The story may put you in an emotional space, but I want y'all to get it. She wants y'all to get it. She wants you to understand men and women that are going through or have been through this. Um, Make sure that you take heed to it because it's real.
It's definitely real.
All right, y'all. Hey, Miss Tiffany. So, Miss
Hello,
Tiffany,
Miss
tell
B.
us the beginning. Start us from the beginning.
The beginning of the abuse.
The beginning of the abuse. So the abuse start in your relationship, at home. Like, what made you okay with even starting to take the abuse?
Definitely from home.
Okay.
Just being the only child, just me and my mom, and she's just like, my mother whipped my ass. So
Mhm.
whatever you do, I'm going to whip yours too. And then that went from that to allowing her husband to beat me. Um, which that first beating was the last beating. Cause she was like, oh my gosh, he don't have any kids. She like, he beat you. I would
Just
never let him touch you again. Like, I'm sorry about that,
okay. So I'm
but
glad she picked up on
yeah,
it.
it was always after I get a beating, then I'm sorry. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yes, pops and popcorn, everything is okay. So moving on, I'm in a relationship, and next thing you know, when he hit me, it was like, oh, I'm sorry.
Mhm.
So I don't know if that was the reason why stayed, but
And sometimes that could be the reason because you was already subjected to somebody saying sorry once they hit you.
correct,
It was supposed to like all be better. It's all over with now.
correct.
So a lot of times, they say you live what you learn. Whatever you
Mhm.
learn as you grow up, that's how you live when you get older.
Yeah, very true.
So that could have been
Very true.
why.
And just not having a voice,
Yeah.
when I was younger. If I'm trying
Mhm.
to explain like, "Mom, this is what happened," and shut up. Like I'm the mother, you know what I mean? Just be quiet.
Mhm.
When I say something, you don't say anything back. So I'm shutting up.
And you got programmed to be that way.
Exactly. Like as of today, when my children do something
Mhm.
and they need to explain, I let them explain. I'm not going to say, "Oh, you lying. I know you did it. Let me hear your story." Even when I know you lying, I just want to listen.
Yeah.
I want all ears.
And that does, teach you that, which is good that you know that now you implement it differently with your children. Because we all have been through that stage in our life where what goes on in my home stays in my home.
Correct.
And that's how a lot of people have been molested as children by
Hmm.
family members, neighbors, or what have you,
Yeah.
because you already know not to tell
Molestation definitely played a
not to
part
tell
in
what
my
goes on.
life. My mother was telling me she was touched, and then I was touched by a church member before.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was like,
The
this is
place where you seek refuge.
yeah. You know how you have a friend that's in church, and she might become your children auntie.
Right.
That's how it was. And I'm going to her house, I'm having a good time, and I'm like, these people are totally different from church. And I was young.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was praising and sweating and everything in church. And when you go home, her daughter was extremely mean to me, and she was taking care of a guy. I don't know if that's her nephew or whatever. And he was younger, and he used to just look at me in a way, you know.
Yeah.
And this one particular night, I was like, "Can I please sleep with you? Like, I want to sleep with y'all."
You asked her,
And she was
the
like,
parent that.
"No." I asked her daughter,
Oh,
which was
okay.
she at the time she was a teenager, and she was like, "No, go in the living room. We had to sleep on the couch." So I'm like, "Okay." I grabbed the blanket and slept on the couch, and that's when I got touched by him.
Wow.
Yep.
Did you tell your mom?
No, I did not tell my mother. I know my mother goes off. He also didn't tell me not to tell nobody. It's just a thing. Like, don't say anything.
Mm-hmm.
Now I understand why people don't say nothing in the beginning, you know?
Yeah.
But you definitely don't want it traumatized me. I don't like to be touched a certain way because of it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like to I don't like certain smells of gum because he was chewing gum when he touched me.
Wow.
Um it's a lot of things that got me like jumpy about it.
And so,
You
so
know,
some of those things still trigger you.
definitely triggering, definitely. You know, even down to his name. And
Wow.
sometimes and this was crazy. About 5 years ago, I was in the market and I thought I saw him. My underpits got hot. My tongue started shaking. I'm like, what is wrong with me?
So you like having an anxiety attack.
Yes,
I
and the whole time
understand.
it wasn't him.
It wasn't even
But I
the
thought it was
thoughts.
him, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" I had to call my little cousin, like, just talk to me. I mean, I'm in the store about to go off on the wrong person. You know?
That's a scary thing.
Yeah.
And that's the hard part of us being told you don't tell stuff, you don't do this,
Yeah.
or this going to happen. You think the worst is going to be falling on you,
Yeah.
when the worst actually would have fell on him.
Exactly.
But you
Exactly.
kept
I
it in
didn't know.
all
I
the
mean, he
time.
could have been in trouble that soon if I would have just jumped up and just screamed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then the next day, he was doing this thing where he was spitting at me and was like, "You're a freak. You're a dummy. You're a freak." Like laughing. I'm like, I'm 10. Like, what are you doing?
Wow, so you never were able to get that out? Like, did you
Not until I
eventually
was
tell your mother?
yes, not until I was grown. And I think when I told her, it just was like, what do you want me to do? Oh, nothing can be done. Who has money for a lawyer? And I'm just like, he messed me up.
I need a hug, though.
Yeah.
Did she comfort you in that moment?
No.
Did she pat
No.
you, rub you, explain
My
it?
mother was more like hardcore, like, what you crying for? Suck
It
it up.
happened, it's
Yeah.
over.
Yeah. But I did reach out to the auntie
Okay, yeah.
and her daughter, and
Yeah.
I asked her, and I looked at her, and I said, I remember a night I was over your house, and you told me I couldn't sleep in the bed with you. I would have slept on your floor. I said, this is what's about to blow your mind. When I laid on that couch, I remember her coming out of her room and looking at him and saying his name and saying, "Don't touch her." But it was how she said it. It
So
was
they
like,
probably know that this is what he did.
I'm trying to tell you how she said, "Don't touch her." It was strange, and I never forget like how she looked at him. Like she said his name. It was like, "Don't touch her." And I'm just laying there, and I pulled the cover up, and I'm watching TV, and I'm dozing off. And it's 2 couches in the living room, but for some reason, he wants to sit at the end of the couch where I'm at, so he can directly look at TV. And I'm like,
So
okay.
this was a habit probably that he had apparently when they had company over, and it's so unfortunate.
Probably
that she
so.
wouldn't let you
But that
sleep
was
in
my
the
last
room.
time over there.
I was going to say that I would have.
That was my last time over there, and I'm glad that my mother didn't make me go.
Yeah.
Like, no, you're going to church this Sunday, Wednesday, Tuesday, whatever day we used to go ahead. Nope. She was like, oh, you don't have to go. I was like, I don't want to go back over there. I don't want to go to church with her anymore. She's like, okay. Like, it was just like, okay.
So did that like kind of guide you away from church? Period. Like.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Because most of the time, when you see people in church and they're so filled with the Holy Ghost, and the Spirit just moves all over the church, and they shouting and praising God, and they get home and they be somebody else, you tend to look at them like, I don't even want to go to church with you.
Yeah.
Everything you did fake, and it's unfortunate because it'll fall on every church person after that.
Yeah.
And it's not even like that.
It's not even like that. It was just because of that happened. I was like, and I reached out to her a few years ago, and I just was like, I just wanted to tell you, like, this happened. And she was like, that's why you never came back over. And I was like, yeah. And you was nasty. You were mean. I'm sorry. Like, I was the only child. Like,
remember being so horribly mean.
She just apologized. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm just, I was a teenager. I didn't, I was selfish. I didn't want you touching my stuff. I didn't want you in my room. And I was like, but how you told him not to touch me, it was like you knew. And I need you to tell me the truth. Did he ever touch you? And she got quiet. And then she said, Tiffany, I'm going to tell you something, but don't repeat it. I said, what? She said, he touched my daughter. Now, mind you, she was a teenager when this happened, so she grown up, still had this guy around, and she had a child, and dang if he didn't touch her daughter.
So he touched her daughter, too.
He touched her daughter, and he also got caught touching his own child. So this is repeated.
I was going to say, so it's really not even telling how long he's even been doing this.
Right.
So she knew that night when you wanted to come out of her room, you liable to get touched, or you was afraid that something already happened.
Yeah.
And she didn't even try to shield you.
Nope. She could have just been like, all right, come in my room, or come here with a blanket, come lay on my floor. No, you allowed me to stay on that couch with that boy that used to rough play with you and get his little feels on.
And I was going to say, and she might not admit it, but I'm sure he probably touched her as well.
Yeah. And she was always so rough with him, too. She was always so rough with him. Yeah.
Yeah, because he done something to her before.
He was a nasty guy. He was a nasty guy.
So you went from that turmoil, from the single mother, no siblings. So that's kind of rough because you end up
Right.
being a latchkey kid. Hey, with a key,
Yeah.
make sure you can get in the house. I
Mhm.
see you when I get off.
That's right.
We all kind of go through that phase, but it's also if you do something, I'm gonna whoop your butt. I'm gonna say sorry,
Mhm.
almost like that Ike and Tina. I'm gonna
Yeah.
bust you up. I'm gonna give you a gift,
Yep.
but that teaches you to kind of take it.
Yeah.
It
And
teaches
that's
you a
exactly
whole
what I was
different thing.
doing.
So when you got in a relationship, how was things?
So at first it was all charms, you know what I mean? My cousin, you know her, she was like, "Hey, come play cards with us."
Mm-hmm.
And this is how it started. Bam. I was minding my business, going to school, going to work, whatever. She's like, "No, come over, play cards, and I want you to meet somebody." So I seen him. He's charming. He's, "Hey, how you doing? I heard so much about you. We kicking it. One night led to another. Every night. I mean, I'm at work no and off because I'm having a good time with them. Every
Yeah.
night we playing cards, having a good time. And then he's like, why don't you start coming over my house? Like we've been kicking it for about 2 months here, over here with all these kids, and let's go over my
Everybody
house.
here,
So I'm like, all right. I'm
let's
like, all
come
right, cool. I
along.
mean, we talking with each other. We going out. And we having a good time. So
Yeah, the honeymoon stage
yeah,
is always
the
beautiful.
honeymoon stage was very sweet. He
Yeah,
was
it
very
always
charming.
is.
Kept himself up real good, but
Mm-hmm.
still had a little gangster with him.
Yeah.
And I was like, I like
Oh, so
that.
yeah, you kind of like
I
that
like
edge.
that. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that I saw wasn't even his, but again, I didn't know. He
Right.
didn't tell me, oh, this not my car, this not my house. I thought everything was his.
Right.
So
Right.
fell into that trap or whatever. So now we're at his house, and now it's like, oh, I want to start going back over, my cousin's house. It's kind of boring here. And he like, they don't really mess with you like that. They ain't really for you. Like if she
Yeah,
really dealt with you like that,
brainwashing.
she wouldn't tell you she wouldn't even tell you to come over and like knowing that you just got off work, you gotta think. He was like manipulating me, like you gotta,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like I got you.
Yeah.
So
And you
I'm
kind of
like,
start believing it because
he
it
put
makes
me in a
sense
safe zone
sometimes.
with him. He put me in a safe zone with him. Like, yeah, only trust me and this, that, and the third. And I'm
Yeah.
like, maybe he right. Maybe he's right. Like they just using me. Oh, can you take me here? Can you take me there? But with him, he got a car. I got a car, so we good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then honeymoon stage went to he always just like started acting funny and I'm like, what is something that he's doing? I mean, I'm kind of green, but I was like, he's using something.
Drugs
I
or
never
something.
seen him smoke weed or
A
whatever.
different
He would
influence.
drink, but I'm like, this just not
Mm-hmm.
alcohol.
Right.
So then, one thing led to another and he would just want to almost like I was bothering him. You know what I mean? And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, listen, I can go back where I came from with all
Right.
this. And he's
Right.
like, no, it's good. It's not nothing. And this, that, and that third. And then one thing led to another. We would get into these little dumb arguments. And one day he pushed me, like across the bed. Like, I bounced
Shoved
off the
hard.
bed. Like, what? I jumped up. I'm fighting him back. I'm swinging him. I mean, I am jumping off the bed, kicking him. Like, I was playing
Kung Fu
Mortal
Panda.
Kombat. Right.
Yes.
He was just grabbing by my face. I mean, he would grab me so hard his fingernails was left in my face. So I'm
Really
like,
intentional.
yeah. So I'm like, oh yeah, he got a little crazy to him,
Yeah.
And that crazy led to me being scared of him. I just really became like scared. So it was beyond. It was when I'm getting so close with his family, and I'm like, his family is like my family. Like I don't have no siblings, and
Right. Right.
he was a they was
And
deep.
he knew all
His
of
mother
that
had
while he
6
was training
kids.
you
Yeah.
to be that way. Getting you away from the cousins. He knew all
Got
of
me
that.
away from the cousins saying, oh, your mother don't even want to deal with you. Your mother always out. Your mother always drinking, like this, that, and the third. So I'm like, yeah.
She is always around.
Yeah, she is always out. She is always drinking. His mother not.
Right.
So I'm kicking it with them. Like we like family. She used to
Yeah.
be like, oh, that's my daughter right here. So I did feel at home.
So did his mother know that any of these things was taking place?
His mother knew in the middle of the relationship, and she was like, wow, you still staying? We still gonna love you? She was like, F him, call the police. Like she used to tell me that.
The mother did.
She never was like, now his grandmother on the other hand was like, when I knocked on her door one day and she saw how scratched up my face was, I never forget. She was like, what you do? Because I ain't never see him fight on nobody. Y'all need to stop. Go ahead out there. Go ahead back downstairs, babe. Why don't you go ahead home? Don't come over here starting no trouble. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, because she came from the era where
She
man
raised
ran
him.
the
His
household.
mother and his father was 14 and 15 when they had him.
Yeah, so she took
Yeah.
care of him. So she knew what it was because years
Yes.
ago, men always took over the household back then.
Yeah.
And they beat whoever, beat the wife, and had another wife 2 doors down with some more kids around the other corner.
Exactly.
So she grew up in that era. So for
Yeah.
her, for you to get popped, it's like, girl, take that pop and go sit down.
Right. She like, what you do? Like, he ain't never do this before, so I don't know. Don't come over here starting trouble. And I'm like, I'm not starting the trouble. Are you crazy? I just walked away. Whatever. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going back home without. Please don't go back home. Like, I can't eat without you. I can't sleep without you. I need you in a bed. Like, I need you. Like, please don't do this to me. Oh, my uncle is going to be devastated if you're not around no more. Like, we about to go to Virginia. Let's go to the beach. Let's do. He want to do what I like to do. But that's not really what you like to do.
That's just roping you back in. I'm just roping you back in.
And that's exactly what he was doing. And then he started bringing his daughter around me. And I fell in love with that baby. Like, that was like my baby. She even was starting to look like me. We would dress alike. Like, that was my girl. Because he was the type of father, like, get her and go with my grandmother. No, she knew when she come around, she was like, oh, yeah, we about to have a good old weekend.
Now, you know what's unfortunate? A lot of men do that, latch their children onto the woman that they're with, only because they know they're dirty. So whatever I do, even if she mad enough to leave me, she gonna think twice.
Yeah.
Because she know my daughter gonna cry if she go.
That was my girl. I mean, that little girl started calling me mommy. Like, the first time she called me mommy, it was like a hit to the stomach. Like, I've never felt like this before when she called me that. And I looked at him, and even his mother was like, what you call her? And she was like, oh my gosh, she really love you. And I'm just like, I can't leave.
So you really can't leave.
I felt like I was going to abandon my child if I was to leave her.
But did he have custody? Was the child?
No, it was just like the summertime. She would come over like more, and then like every other weekend or something like that during school time. Yeah, he never was the type to go get her after school or nothing. It was whatever weekend he had or the summer. So
like even in those break times when she wasn't there, did you think like I gotta get away from here?
No, not in the beginning. Just because like we was just family. Like his mother and his sisters was like my mother and sisters, but something that he did in the beginning, I was like, wow. They would talk to each other like they were brother and sisters. I'm talking about, bitch, did you open up my Sprite soda? Bitch, fuck you. I ain't open up no damn Sprite soda. Like, I'm like, mother. Dang, you could talk to your mother like that?
Right. So that's
and I remember my grandmother used to tell me, like, watch how a guy talk to his mother.
How they treat their mothers, how they go.
So I'm going to say that was probably my first red flag. However, they wasn't, like, mad at each other, but that's just how they talk to each other. And I'm like, that's disrespectful. At that time, I wasn't even cussing around my mother. And if it was like, oh, excuse me. You know what I mean? I would backtrack. Yeah. Excuse me, I'm just.
I didn't mean to say that.
Yeah, I didn't even mean to say that. But yeah, he was, all of them. All his siblings can do whatever they wanted to do. I'm like, this is the life. You can do whatever you want to do in this house. Like,
so you still don't see, I got to get away from me.
Yeah, because, and like I said, at first, he hit me, I'm hitting him back. But so it took up a few fights for me to say, I can't fight him. He hitting me even harder.
Yeah.
And that little play fighting thing that he used to do with me, too, to see my strength.
And you know what? Another guy from another show, he said it all the time. When he grew up with his friends, he never played fight. Mm-hmm. He said because his father told him, that's how they are testing your strength.
Yeah.
To see how hard you can fight, to see what your weaknesses are, how to maneuver you. So all that play fighting, don't do that shit with me. I ain't got time.
Yep. And that's so crazy. That's exactly what I tell my son. I tell him, because my daughter, she we call her like a G baby. You not hitting her.
Right, anyway.
Yeah, right, but my son, I'm like, you shouldn't let nobody come and drag you down. Yeah. No, you get out of that and you bam. Yeah. I don't play like that. You let them know early. You let them know early, exactly. Right. But yeah, we used to play. I noticed that we used to play fight, and I'm like, yo, we grown. I don't want to play fight. Like I don't want to do those things. The whole time he like, so you don't know your father? You don't have no siblings? He knew. He was just like, yeah, she don't have no siblings. So she don't have no father. She has a mother with a boyfriend, but he not no real father figure. He was like, I got this. And that's what he did. And he took control. And I didn't tell him too much about my life, but he seen it.
He could see it. Yeah,
he seen it. I was independent. I was by myself all the time. And he's like, oh, yeah, I got a tenderoni. And she's soft. She ain't from... You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I was like, oh, okay,
street cut up. She might grab a knife and stab me. You wasn't none of that. So he probably was like, yeah, I'm winning with this. I'm getting with this.
So, so he thought, so just the hits just was coming. And I'm like, this is crazy now. Hold on now.
And how long you stayed with him before you was like, all right, this is too much?
We did almost a clean 3 years. oh baby, this wasn't just a walk across. This wasn't just a few months, and he hit me, and I had to run away. No, I done seen a few Christmases with him. You know what I mean? I done had money. I done went to negative. I done seen my bank account from here to there because of him. And then I'm like, we can do better. Maybe we just need a new space. He don't need to be in this environment. I'm like, let's move. I found me a place. Of course, it was in my name. Um, he had came into some money and we furnished everything. Everything was just right. And next thing you know, I'm gonna say like 3 months. No matter of fact, let's not lie. Nope. I had went to go get a U-Haul truck and somebody called my phone and was like, Tiffany. And I'm like, yeah, who is this? And she was like, let's just call her Sierra. This is C. And she was like, I'm messing with him. And she was like, I was like, do you not know we're moving? She was like, I know you moving out of his grandmother's house, but he moving with you? And I'm like, yes. And she was like, you had watched my daughter and everything before. I said,
so you keeping somebody's child you don't even know.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, so I'm sorry.
I was like, I watch your
daughter.
daughter.
So he had you in here in his house, running everything.
Yep.
His daughter calling you mom. The girl he's seeing, you're
Yeah,
watching her
he
daughter.
came in the house and told me that was his little cousin. And they got a big family, so I didn't see everybody. That little pretty little girl came on there, and I'm biting chicken, giving it to them both, and all that. And downstairs, just getting cheated on, didn't know, and watching the mistress child and his child. And
everybody.
Yeah.
So you went through all of that,
Mm-hmm.
and not even to mention the stuff about your mom and the person from church, but just that alone, them 3 years.
Yes.
What came about after y'all got the place? Because y'all did move in together. Right?
Yeah, we wound up moving together, and
what was the turning point to say I am sick of this shit?
So it was just like the fights. You know what I mean? He would come in anytime. I would call him. He would be like, "What you keep calling me for?" I'm like, "It's 3 in the morning." He would answer the phone. He would say, "Hold on." So I'm on hold, and he having sex, and I can hear it. I mean, I used to stay on the phone until the girl said, "Get me a rig." And she was like, "Where's my underwear?" I heard all this. So
how did you take that? How did you?
I went crazy. We had a 70-inch on the wall. I tore the whole thing off. Like I just went crazy. I can't believe you doing this to me. And I still stayed. I did. I still stayed because I'm like, for one, I'm not paying all these bills by myself. And then he stopped paying the bills.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, damn, now I'm backed up. I'm like, you gotta help me with these bills. Like, what's going on? And he was like, I'm about to just start staying back with my grandmother and this, that, and the third. And you can come if you want to, but I don't even like it out here. Like, he was a city boy. He ain't want no county life in him at all. He like, I need to go back in the city. So.
And that's one thing I want to bridge off for a minute just to say.
I have called the police at that.
Stick and stay.
Yeah.
Stick and stay. You find every reason because your name attached, because the children are attached, because the love, how long it's been. That longevity means nothing. Abuse is simply abuse, and it grows stronger and stronger, harder and harder. And that's why I wanted to make sure you get, everything out and talk about it. Because there's a lot of people that's watching now that's probably like, wow, so I don't have to stay here.
You don't have to stay, but you have to have a plan.
So that's what I was going to say. So
and
tell us where you're turning point.
You got to have a plan. So it's time going on, and he's staying out. Yes, please be my guest. Stay out. I'll wash clothes for and pack the bag for you. You got to go. I just need you away from me. And I'm
anxious for him to be.
I made a plan. He wasn't smart enough to check his accounts, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get these bills paid one way or another. Okay, and then I'm like, I gotta get out of here.
So he's slick, but he dumb.
Yeah, he was slick but dumb, and so stuff got low, and he like, where all this big chunk of money was coming out? Oh, you thought I wasn't gonna pay my rent for 3 months? No.
The devil is alive.
He still ain't go to the bank or call the bank and ask, when was this transaction? How was this withdrawal? Nothing. He didn't know. He was really slow. Like, I don't know what was wrong with him, but he was just like. He was just drawing me back with his daughter. Mm-hmm. Okay, I didn't want to go back home. I didn't want my mother in my face like I told you so.
Right.
I hate to be embarrassed. I'm like, she gonna be like, I told you so. You spent all that money moving. I'm like, man, I gotta stay, and you gonna stop putting your hands on me.
But
you gonna stop putting your hands on me. So I'm like, I felt lonely at this time. So he like, so after one fight, this is the fight where I finally called the police because I could not breathe. And the paramedics came or whatever, and he was standing at the door. A paramedic was working on, well, checking my vitals, and it was a firefighter standing behind that person, and she was staring at me, and she was like, "Are you okay?" Like she just was like mouthing like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "No," but just something just told me to come out him, and he was just looking right at me already. So I was like, "Yeah, I'm okay." They like, "You don't want to leave. I'm asking you one more time. Do you want us to take you?" But that was her trying to tell me,
Get you out of
get
the
you, like,
house.
we gonna get you out of here. And I was like, "No." She was like, "I'm asking you one more time." She went like this.
She wanted you
She
to
said,
please leave.
"You probably need to go to the hospital." And I was like, "No, no, I'm not. I'm not. I'm fine." And yeah, they wound up leaving. And guess what she did? She dropped a card on my floor
With her information
on there.
So you
With her information on there. No, I did not because he saw that.
He caught
Okay,
the
let me
card.
tell y'all how like this right here would have him wanting to fight me. Don't you leave nothing, no trash or nothing around. Everything was spotless. I used to get my ass whipped by this man if you see a shoe print on the carpet. That was a fight to him. I'm cleaning up, I'm dusting, everything. The forks had to be a certain way. His family didn't even know that he was like that. Now, he was like everything from his grandmother's house was always neat. I mean, color coordinated, everything. Whites, blacks, colors, jeans was just folded so neatly, better than the store. And I was like, okay, I like that too. I like to stay neat or whatever, but you couldn't let nothing pass him. We had a dresser with nothing on it. I have never seen a dresser so clean. We had a drawer for scraps, a drawer for mail, a drawer for perfumes and colognes. Nothing can be laid out. So when she dropped that, that's the first thing he saw. Something on his floor.
So
Picked it up. He was like,
on the letter, on the
ripped it
card.
up, threw it in the trash can. I wonder why she dropped that. Do you want me to kill you in here? And I'm like, no, like, I don't know why she dropped it even. Maybe she mistakenly dropped it. And I'm backing up against the wall. Bam, just slaps, spits. I just remember him smacking me and my blood just squirting on the walls over and over again. Like, he was just like mean. And I'm like, I gotta go to work. I gotta get some money. I can't sit around.
And still go to work with all these bruises.
Yep.
And
I'm working around kids. I was working at daycare centers, and you know how you get closer with the staff or whatever, because it's just you or another person.
Somebody eventually gonna say,
Yeah,
well,
like, what's
okay?
wrong?
What's
I would go in the
on?
bath. Oh, I'm using the bathroom, and I'll be in there asleep with my head against the wall, trying to get some rest, because I don't get no rest at night. Or making sure my call list look right, because any number that looked unknown that's not saved, he's calling when I get home that night. He was straight. Let me see your phone. So it would be like, oh, how was your day? This, that, and the third. And I'm like, well, we having a good evening. Let me see your phone right quick. And I'm like, my phone, like, nothing is in it. I never talked to another guy while I was with him. I was too scared to.
And a lot of people go through that, and all they see is he taking good care of her. They got a nice home. They stay clean, neat, on point.
My cousins, oh my gosh, my cousins loved him. My cousins loved him. He was just so, like, fun to be around. Like, come on, y'all, let's play around. He had a good side of him around other people, but he was a demon at night. One day, my family gave me a birthday party. I was like, oh my gosh, for me? I mean, my aunts, everybody, my little cousins, everybody. He texted my phone and was like, if you don't leave that party, I'm going to you up when you get in here. I had to grab my keys, leave all my stuff, all my little gifts and cards, and I was like, I'm going to get some in my trunk. My little cousin like, can I go? And I was like, no, I'll be right back. I'm just going in my trunk. I went right to that car and pulled off and went home just to walk in the house, and he made a chocolate cake for me. And his cousins was there, and they was drunk. And he picked that whole chocolate cake up and put it right in my face.
Because your family gave you a party.
And he was jealous of that.
What was the last thing he did that make you say, yep, today is the day?
The last thing that he did was lock me in a room on Fulton Avenue. He locked me in a room, and he told me that I was going to die. And
was he in the room with you a lot, like right
yeah? So
the two of y'all.
This was a room back. So now the place is gone. We back at his grandmother's house or whatever. We back at his grandmother's house. He now has a room that's not in the basement. It was upstairs, and he had a latch on the door because nobody can touch his stuff. He had brothers, you know, people like to touch
Oh,
your
everybody touch
cologne
your
and your
shit.
money
Yeah.
and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So he always locked the door.
Mm-hmm.
So he came in there. He pulled a gun from behind his back. It was rusty. He put it in my mouth and was like, "Suck this." And I was like, "Boy, what are you talking about? Like, no." And he was like, "I'm just playing with you, whatever." He said, well, "I'm gonna kill you today."
Serious, in a serious tone.
Yep, it was serious, but I felt like he was dead serious. Like,
Yeah.
I felt this was different. His eyes, he was sweating, and I was like, "The air on, like, why is you so hot?" I remember him playing like this movie because he had a DVD player in his room. He played Halloween. I probably watched Halloween over 11 times that one night, that one day, because that was the only movie that he had
On DVD.
on DVD. And I'm like, this man is crazy.
So he's
So
watching somebody psychotic as Michael Myers all day long.
all day long, exactly. And he took my if it wasn't that, he would be watching Family Guy. But that's it. So he took my clothes, he took my shoes, he took my car keys and my purse and my phone, of course. He always took my phone. I didn't even care to have a phone no more.
Right.
The phone to me meant nothing.
Right. Because he's going to take it anyway.
Yeah, he's gonna take it or break it anyway.
Investigate it all. That's not make a difference.
So this particular day, I was looking out the window. I was watching the cars ride down Monroe Street, and you know it's Brown's funeral home right there.
At the top. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if you look out his back window, you can see Brown's funeral home, and he was like, "You're gonna be right in there." He was like, just like your grandmother."
Like, I'm gonna kill you. Mm-hmm.
Like laughing, like, remember when your grandmother was in there, and you barely made it to her funeral.
That was the last day. Please.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, that's what I say. So he left, and when I went to go use the bathroom, I'm like, the door locked. He put the latch on there. Yep, and I was.
So he left out. So he wasn't like barricade the two of y'all in the
No.
room. He left out.
Yeah, he left out because he took everything, and I didn't know. But now I know he took my car up Park Heights, threw my keys on the roof because he was staging it. That's how I know how serious he was. He was staging
really
it.
staging so he can kill you and look like.
Yeah, almost look like somebody your phone almost looked like somebody kidnapped me.
Close.
Yeah, and that's exactly what he wanted to look like a kidnapping. Yep, he threw my keys on somebody's roof, threw my pocketbook, and left I had an Altima. He left my car door open, so the battery would drain. And then he came back and I was like, it was nothing. I was like, where my car keys and stuff at? He was like, it's downstairs. But the whole time it was gone. So even if somebody was to ride down his block to try to see was I there, you didn't know because my car was gone.
Because the car wasn't even there.
The car wasn't even there. But it was just something strange about that day. Like, that Ice Cube, when he made that today was a good day, how he was like, something is different.
Yeah.
That day felt really weird to me from how my body was feeling.
He was ready to make that the last day.
I seen birds flying slow. Like, I'm like, what is going on today? Like, I almost thought he drugged me. Because I'm like, why is everything? I was just watching cars. I can see people, but I couldn't hear nothing. I was like going deaf. I'm like, what is wrong? Hallucinating everything. I thought about jumping out his back window. I was like, I'm going to break my leg.
So how did you end up getting out?
My cousin, Kelly.
She came home.
Yep. She introduced me to him and she got me out of it.
Good.
Banging at that door, and I never forget. I was like, I'm not screaming. I'm not saying nothing because I know he got a gun.
Yeah.
And he banged on that door she banged on the door and I remember her saying, where's my little cousin at? I'm going to get you killed and your grandmother if you don't tell me where she at. And he was like, what's going on? Why everybody, I guess it was other people, why everybody here? She upstairs asleep. Like, why you coming here acting crazy? Like, my grandmother upstairs, this, that, and the third. She like, no, we've been looking for my little cousin for days. And I know she in here. So she go upstairs. She said, I know she not in this door because this is like a closet, which was the door that I was behind. But she was like, I know she not. So she opened up all the doors. She even opened up his grandmother door while she was laying in the bed.
Yeah, I wouldn't even care what the grandmother in the bed.
Oh, how you doing? My cousin in here. She like, oh, I don't know. I don't know. Like, y'all couldn't just open up my door. What's going on? And she was like, I know you don't have my cousin in this room with this latch on this door. He was like, no. Like, is you crazy? And she just started kicking it. Bam, bam. After like the fourth kick, she broke a hole in it. And she got me out of there. She dragged me down them steps with that tank top and them boxes on, and she was mushing my head like, if you ever come back here, then we gonna have a problem. You have to stop coming back, this, that, and the third. I'm gonna have people watching you, and she was not lying when she said she was gonna have people watching me. Because I still had stuff there, and yeah.
Not living anymore
oh yeah, definitely. That was enough. I was like, I gotta go. This is draining. I can't I can't think. I can't eat. I'm tired of lying. I had to lie and say I was pregnant like twice.
So he won't hit on you.
Yes, and he will only stop hitting. I'm gonna say like 2 to 3 months. I'm overeating and walking around with my pants unbuttoned and never was pregnant. I just used to lie about it so he won't hit me.
Jeez.
Stuffing myself with food, eating all my food, even when I didn't want to, just so he can believe. And he like, oh yeah, this baby like Chinese food. Whole time I was like, ugh.
Like we had a lady here before, and she was saying like her boyfriend was just so abusive. Like she had to mandatory have sex. Like she had COVID, sick, can't move, can't bathe, can't anything, but she would have to lay there, and he would still have sex with her. Even though she had COVID and about to die. He still would have to.
That's the sick stuff that they do. That is the sick stuff
scary.
that they do.
That is so scary. So how you get, once your cousin got you out, how did you get over that?
I mean, I had to just keep going. Because now, forget being embarrassed, everybody know. Everybody know that Tiffany's in an abusive relationship. My cousin's telling everybody, listen, you better not go back there. She had people that I didn't know sitting on his block.
I was going to say, your cousin the type that told everybody, if y'all see her up here, call me.
Yeah, and that's what they were doing.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they were doing. She was like, because, and I'm so glad. That's why I tell people, don't be quiet about it. Don't be quiet about it. And not only that, she introduced me to him. So she felt like, I got to get you out of this.
Because I done put you in, basically I put you in
Yeah, and it's not her fault. She didn't know how he really was.
Right. But still,
she didn't know how he was.
She'll end up taking on because you feel like I done put this together.
Exactly. Can you imagine waking up every day and somebody just looking at you like, you so ugly. You so black. You the most ugliest black person. Once we really over, and you know ain't nobody gonna like you.
And you know what? A lot of people say those things. Like I didn't have those kind of things when I was married. It was more so just like, 2, 3, 4, like everything in order at the time, right day, right this, right that, and the whole time for like 10 years sleeping with one of my sisters. But I gotta be on point. And a lady can't do this one thing when I was young.
One of your friend's sisters?
No, my sister, like my mother and father daughter, like grew up in my house with me.
Unacceptable.
You know how people ride by playing music? And I used to dance when I was younger. So I was one day outside on the corner of Poplar Grove, North Avenue, dancing. I don't even know what came on, like Doo-Doo Brown or something, but I was dancing. And he like died. The look on his face.
Yeah, those looks. Those looks that kill you.
You know what them looks mean.
Like, I'm going to get you.
And I was like, why are you looking at me like that? He was like, that's something a lady don't do. A lady don't dance outside just because music riding by. That means you a whore. So you must want him come back around the block to fuck you. Like, just horrible things. And you always think, and then we had worked together since I was 12. So then I still end up marrying him. But for me, I think the breaking point was, like, my mother was like, my mother was like one of those, I'm going to do everything, working hard, grind hard, this, that, and the third. My kids going to have, we going to do, it's 5 girls, this one do that for that one do that, and I was the youngest. So I got the end of the stick of everything. I saw all the lessons, but nobody told me what not to take.
Right.
They ain't say, well, this person did this to me because of this. All I know is don't let nobody put their hands on you.
Right.
Because they went through that. So the thing is, if you don't teach the whole story, your children or your siblings don't get the whole understanding. So to touch me, he better never had touched me or it would have been an issue. But to mentally train me to be this way, I thought that was okay because I wanted for nothing.
Right.
So I thought that I was winning.
Yeah.
And the whole time, I was not. But when my mother was murdered by her husband, that showed me that no matter how good of a woman you can be, if a man feel any type of way, they're going to do what they got to do.
Yeah.
Any type of way. He just felt like, he didn't even do it for out of a malicious thing. He got caught cheating. She asked him to leave, and then he murdered her a month later. Wanted the money out the bank. That's how they locked him up, because he was going to the bank, taking withdrawals, went to will of rights, signing stuff over. He was just doing everything under the sun within the week before the funeral. So you did all of this for money. You killed this beautiful person for money.
Not right. Not right.
I don't even want to sidetrack too much.
That's tough to swallow. Oh my gosh.
You ask me something? I don't see. What I do, let me see. I don't see. I don't see. I don't see. All right. Okay. Oh, the stock. Okay, that's what it was. Stockholm syndrome. Did you realize that you had, so you probably didn't even realize that you had Stockholm syndrome?
No, I never even heard of that. No, what is that?
You give your mic down.
It's
You said Stockholm syndrome?
Mm-hmm.
No, I never heard of that before. What is that?
I'm gonna sing the meaning of it.
Okay.
Yeah, Stockholm syndrome, like an overall meaning, is like when you get used to being treated that way, the abuse that way, like you almost don't even want to go, cause it's like I ain't even gonna go, cause now he gonna be sad if I go. Now what if I can't live if I go? I can't breathe if I go. He can't breathe if I go. It kind of gives you a broken mental place. I don't have my glasses on, so thanks for having your screen so small. It says Stockholm syndrome, feelings of trust or affection felt in many cases of kidnapping or hostage taken by a victim toward the captor. So
Oh, yeah.
basically, he had you, especially with the latch on the door.
Right.
He had you
With the
locked in
latch
there.
on the
And
door,
that's the one
I've
room
been
that
I've been
shit
kidnapped.
didn't even
I've been
check-
kidnapped
check.
by him like 3 times. I'm talking about I was kidnapped at a family cookout and just left in the room.
And nobody in the family say, "Where's Tiffany at?"
If you probably wouldn't believe me, but I have no reason to lie. He kidnapped me and my friend in a room. We was at his family cookout in the county, and he said, y'all gotta stay in here."
So what did the friend? Did the friend say, "We getting out of here"?
I told no, she didn't. She was scared.
She was.
She knew that I was getting abused, so she like, I'm scared. Like, what we gonna do? I said, listen. I looked at her. I looked at her. She was sweating and stuff. I said, fake her asthma attack. She's like, I don't know. I said, you have to. He already know that you have severe asthma. Fake a asthma attack for me.
And that's how y'all ended up.
And yep, he came.
Sorry, so apparently I'm missing a lot of stuff.
Okay.
Montez Truly Miller said that's the most important part, having a plan. Monex also came back to say, how old were you when you went through all of this?
I was 21. Yep, I was 21, and no, actually, so I graduated. I was 20. I was 20 when I first met him.
So you
Yep.
you went from 20, 21, 22.
Yep.
So by 22, 23, that's when you got out.
Yep. Yep.
Bruce Oliver says Stockholm is when you empathize and feel guilty for wanting to separate from the captor or the abuser. And that's what I was asking you, like, how would you feel? And hey, E-Bags, like him. Tuffy, everybody over on Instagram too. I'm sorry, I haven't been reading any comments because I was just so engulfed in the story. But I'm focused. I'm focused, y'all. I'm focused. Like, were you feeling like if I leave, he's gonna be left lonely? He gonna feel some kind of way. Like
I
you felt like
I felt like he was used to people leaving him,
and you didn't want to abandon.
and that's how he had me thinking that he would be so sad. Then he's like, "What about my daughter? Like, this is not gonna I'm not gonna continue to do this. I want to stop doing this," but he didn't. So when I would say, you know what, this is it, this is my last day, he would change, and it would be only for a few weeks. It wouldn't even be long. Or like I said, when I would lie about being pregnant, oh my gosh, she's telling everybody, she pregnant. I'm so happy, this, that, and the third. I hope it's a boy. This is my boy, and all that stuff like that. He never even asked to go to the doctors with me, so.
That's what I was great.
Yeah.
So
the first time, so let me tell you something. I had polycystic ovary, so when I come on, I'm bleeding like whatever. With the heavy blood clot. So the first time that I lied and told him that I miscarried. And of course he gonna believe me because he like, she blood clotting everywhere. This is it right here. And I'm talking about the size of golf balls coming out of me. Then the second time I went out of town with my grandmother. And of course he's just like, oh, you out of town, you doing this. And I'm like, we only down North Carolina, this, that, and the third. But then I called him and was like, I'm on my way to the hospital because I think I'm losing the baby. Because I was like, when I come back home, he know I have a doctor's appointment. And however, he never asked to go with me. But I was like, this particular time, I think he want to come with me. Yeah. So I just told him that. I lied.
So when
Yes,
you
I
came
lied
back,
twice.
how did he feel? Like, did he take it like, oh, you was there with them cutting up, so that's why you had a miscarriage?
No,
Like,
oh
did he
no.
take
He
it
put
bad?
warm blankets on me and was rubbing me and was like, I'm so sorry, rubbing my stomach. Like, I'm so sorry. I know I probably had something to do with this. I was like, yes, because you stressing me. I can't hold a baby because you stressing me.
And
You
then
keep
go right
fighting on
back.
me and this, that, and the third. Like, you have to stop. And he used to get down on his knees crying, snotting all over me. Like, I'm so sorry. I'm
And
just
that's
sorry.
another thing you mentioned previously. We talked about yesterday. The point that you got to when you got down on your knees.
Oh, yeah. It's been times where we was fighting and I dropped down on my knees and just started praying. Before he even hit me, I'm just praying. And I'm like, 'cause this is going to work. I honestly said, I'm going to tell you the truth. I said, if there's a God, when I start praying, he should stop.
And it didn't stop.
It didn't stop.
And you know that's so hard because most people believe now since it kept going on, there is not a God that exists.
Right.
But one thing about God, God will want you or help you manifest what you want, but he needs to see you make that move.
I had lost my faith messing with this boy. I didn't believe in God.
Not to mention what happened with the church people who house you was
Oh,
at.
yeah. My faith was out the door. I was like, there's nobody up there. Because
Trying
what
to
did I
save
ever
me.
do to anybody that make them want to hit on me and spit on me? And I mean, this man had robbed me. I done been to the makeup stores crying. I done been to the bank crying. How you taking my information and you don't see these tears coming out of my face? He's standing behind me, and I know he got something in his dip. And I can't write on a piece of paper saying help me. I don't want to make a big old scene, but stop it. Look at me and say, oh no, you can't withdraw no more money today. No.
So the only person who ever tried to help you was the lady who dropped the information card.
Yes, the lady that dropped the information card. She definitely tried to help me. It was a firefighter.
Yeah,
It was a
because a lot of times they do that, or they'll say, "Call a pizza place." No, you're not ordering pizza, but say you ordering pizza, so people
never
can,
knew about
but you call it for
never
help.
never knew about that. Never knew
So
about that then.
One thing I do want to say, so you dial 911, and you say, "I want to order a pizza," and they'll ask questions, but you continue to tell them what you want on your pizza, what kind of pizza, the address the pizza is coming to, and 911 operators are trained to take that information down and come to your rescue. Never allow yourself to sit and think nobody is coming. Never think that there is not a God, because there is a God, and you'll see the reason for someone else.
I had to see that and learn that toward.
You'll learn that down the line, because once you get so we're gonna let me rewind that comment so we can get to the triumphant part, the over it part, before I even say too much. Monette said, from a person who also has gone through similar circumstances, I encourage you to seek therapy because PTSD is real. That is definitely real.
PTSD is very real. And however, ladies and gentlemen, I definitely believe in God now. I am a child of God. He is the reason why I'm still here today. Yes. I am married, my 7th year, and I have 2 beautiful children, and the PTSD definitely still plays a part. On my way here, a truck had like dropped the latch, and I almost freaked out. Like, I just jumped so bad. You know what I mean? Yeah. Before I walk out of any door, when I leave out of here, I want to look both ways, as if he's in the parking lot and he's deceased.
He's deceased now.
He's
you
deceased.
Still feel like
it's things. I have those sticks at my door. Live in a good neighborhood, but things can happen anywhere. Yeah. I have sticks at my door.
Or like the metal rod.
Yes, those rods that to the floor yep. I have those. I double check and yes, I am in therapy. Definitely plays a big part in my life.
It does.
Tremendously, but I still do these things. I don't trust people. Don't stand behind me at a bank machine. I will stop everything I'm doing and walk away.
People tell me all the time, Veronica, is anxiety real? How can you be this type of person and go to these many places, but you still say you have anxiety? And I tell people because I am in therapy and I know how to fight past certain anxieties, but it's still some things that I be like my ex-husband texted me one day and was like, I made spaghetti. Make the best spaghetti I ever had in my life. But something told me in my mind, You go pick that spaghetti up, he ain't letting you out the house.
Yeah.
This
Oh
happened
yeah.
like last year.
Yeah. I got tricked in the back like that too. Oh, I got the money to pay. He
They try everything.
insurance lapse. What it's called, FR19 or something like that. He's
Uh-huh.
like, I got the money. I'm like, well, can't you just give it to me? Just drop it off to my, I'm
Yeah.
with my family. Can you drop it off? I really need to pay it though, cause they trying to charge me $900
I
for the
don't even-
next insurance. And
I don't even want
he's
it.
like, I got the money. I said, just pull up and give it to me. And he pulled up and gave it. He pulled up and didn't give me anything. He was like, I left half of it in the house.
You got right.
I thought he pulled out his. I thought I had all of it, counting everything twice, backwards. And I'm like, well, just give me what you got. Just give me what you got. He's like, come on now, just get in the car. I can take you to the state building. We can pay this now before they close. And I never figured. I looked at my aunt, and she stood up. She said, where you going at? And I said, I'm about to go to the state office building. All my stuff is still in the house with her. I'm like, I'm about to go to the state office building. I'm finally get this stuff lifted so I can get some car insurance. And we rode right to Fulton Avenue.
Wow, and that's part of that whole
Yep.
Stockholm thing. You have a tendency.
But that was our last fight.
Hit that close, please.
That was,
It
I
might
mean,
be getting lower.
that was our last fight right there, though, buddy.
You might have to just hit the X at the top because I don't want to lose it altogether. I
Yeah.
want to be able to keep it X at the top in the corner. Okay, sorry, but yeah, I don't want to lose it completely.
He gets you together.
Yeah,
He not to be played with.
I mean he not. I can't play with him.
You
He's
know
too
it.
smart. Yeah. Let me,
Like
let
an
me
usher
say-
in church.
You got it. See, that's what he needs to be, an usher at the church. What you said?
The tripod.
Oh, I'm looking like what? I'm sorry,
Oh, you
y'all.
want this one? Because my phone died. Oh, okay.
Oh, that.
Yeah. Here you go.
Okay, you want to take that one?
Mm-hmm.
That is really tough. I didn't want to. I'm sorry. I'm not listening to the engineer. I'm just trying to make sure that we get all of it. Like I want. It's good. Yep. Just turn it just a smidget. Nope. Well, come closer to me and then we'll both.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure that we get everything because this is a big story. This is something that people are going through like right now. I know people always say, well, in the 80s, women took so much abuse and why women this. And a lot of this leads to women being entrepreneurs also.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how we cannot take so much off of men. I met a nice gentleman. I always call him Doc when he talked to me. Because it always like, all right, what's your great? I don't call him by his name depending on the conversation because you're great being a therapist. What's up, Doc?
Right.
What you guys say? And yeah, well, you don't see her, so just kind of just a little. Whatever you do is what it is, sir. Yeah, so I always call him Doc, and he's a really good guy, and I can say missed out on meeting and dating somebody who probably would have worked for me, but some stuff he would say would trigger me.
Yeah.
Like out the hookah pen, and I got a habit now that I only hit the hookah pen, like on the show, I was just like, just because I know he'd be like, why you smoking that hookah pen? And we just talked about it, like me saying, like, I don't even want to, smoke these things no more, they're so bad for your health. But I do it just because, like, who are you to tell me don't smoke a hookah pen? And it went from, I asked you one day not to, and you didn't. So now I'm telling you. And in my mind, it was my husband's voice, my ex-husband's voice telling me, you better stop. So I went from knowing and getting to know this nice guy to the devil is a lie. And I ain't even got to know yet.
See?
So that's stuff like
Bruce question.
Yeah, it's the question. I did his before Monette, so no, I didn't. Monette came back again. Bruce said, how did that experience affect her relationship now? So how would it affect you with your marriage now? Because she is married, and like she said, for 7 years, she's not with that person. He's deceased.
Yeah, it affects us. It affects a lot here and there, but my husband has worked on me tremendously. Like he just was like, I just want you to. This is your safe zone. I actually met my husband while I was finally just breaking all ties with my ex. I mean, all ties. I mean, we done had some stories too, but he got me out of it. But I do remember me and my husband's first argument, and I put my hands up at him.
Ready to
And
fight.
I said, "This what you want?" And he kind of like laughed at me. He was like, "You see how big I am?" He was like, "I would never hit you." He was like, "I can't believe you just put your damn hands up at me."
And it wasn't even about if
He
he
wasn't
you
even.
was just
Nope.
so used to.
We was fussing, and he got loud,
that
and I was
being
like,
the-
"Uh-oh." And he was like, "You look like one of those characters off of Mortal Kombat. You just standing there like this." I was just ready. I'm like,
to
I know
fight.
you want. I know you want to fight, cause I'm like, I know I can get him. In my mind, I'm
In your
saying, like, I
mind,
know I can
right.
get him. I used to fight a dude. I felt like I was tough Tony in these streets.
Yeah, because it do that. It triggers that to you
Yeah.
after a while. And I keep saying, I've been saying lately, I want to be in the soft girl era so bad.
Yeah.
But why do people keep fucking with me? I want y'all to stop
Exactly.
fucking with me.
Yes.
And they just don't. Monette said from a person who also has been going through the
Yeah.
similar
She said that.
Okay, that's
we
what we
read
did.
that.
Read
Yeah.
that. It was Bruce's that we missed.
But it's just that, but Bruce,
Okay,
like honestly,
yeah.
it affects. But I am the type of person, and I've taught this myself.
Mm-hmm.
Taught myself this. I don't try to take on what I went through to some, like
the
to
next
another
situation.
relationship.
Mhm.
That's just like if you
That's
tell me
good.
something about him, I'm not going to just go at him like, oh, but she told me he do this.
then
I'm not
take
going to
his
look
word
at
for
him
that.
like that.
Right.
I gotta see the person because
Yourself.
everybody's a different person around everybody.
Yeah.
So I'm not
Yeah.
going to just take what you say about somebody and just go with it. Like,
Which is good.
Yeah.
And it's a good thing that you do that because now, like Monette said with the PTSD, everybody don't relive those moments again. Therapy is for that, but it is some triggers. Like I
Yeah.
said, the guy saying, "I told you last week. I asked you last week not to
just
smoke
stop.
it. But now this week, I'm telling you, don't you smoke it." That was a trigger for me.
I
So
probably
certain
get
things that'll
triggered like
still
every
trigger
other
you,
day.
but it's not like you detrimentally lost and stuck in that place. So, let everybody know where you are now, this 7 year later, this person who got this hyphenated
So it's
name.
been longer than 7 years. I just been married for 7
Yeah,
years.
yeah.
I've been with my husband well over
So
10.
7 years ago, we was at that wedding?
Yes.
Dang, it's like the wedding was only like a few years ago.
Yeah, at least 7 years ago. But I mean, I'm living my life for me. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't even know if I'm completely healed. I mean, because it still plays on my mental.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah, those things pop back
I
in.
mean, just last night, yo, I can't sit here and make this up. And I know y'all probably be like, you did what? I got out of the shower. I thought I heard somebody downstairs. Like, that's just, and mind you, this man is gone. It's just in me to do it.
Yeah,
And I gotta protect, and I feel like I gotta protect my family.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like, I
yeah.
don't know. I just don't play. I don't play. Like, I'm like looking out the window. Like, I be paranoid sometimes a lot, and I wish that part would go away. But I still live my life just through God. Like, I am a child of God. We are all on shared time.
Yes.
So
And
when
the
it's
fact
my
that
time, it's my
you
time.
Join church and ready to
Yes,
be
I
baptized
recently
again.
just joined church.
Like
Yep.
all those things are great. Your business is booming. I've been at
Yes.
the grand opening party was off the chain. Just thought I'd let y'all know that. You was going to say something, big fella? Oh, I thought you was pointing. I gotta listen to what he says. See,
That's
I
right.
hear you.
And when he go like this,
you already know.
Yes.
You want me to switch something, so I gotta pay attention.
Okay.
But no, like I've been there, so I see the good place you in. But those things come back. But have your journal book at night.
that's another
write
thing.
it down.
Journaling is
That-
the
Journaling
best thing that
to
you can
me is like the best. And for me to be a mental health counselor, a lot of the things I don't do myself and my therapist had to ask me, "Do you journal?" And I said no. She said, "Is that a coping skill that you teach clients?" I said, "Yes." She said, "So get a journal." So now I got in my pocketbook right now. I got 3 journal books, and I'm always writing.
Yeah.
Now I can't stop. I probably can put out 4 books today.
Oh yeah,
That's how much I write.
that's definitely what I want to do. Overall, is to write a book about it because I just want
and
you
that'll
to.
save somebody.
Yeah,
The
it can definitely
conversations
save
alone
people.
will.
I have done makeup and I'm like, I'm covering up a bruise. What happened? Oh, I'm good. We was fighting, and I'm just like,
But look at that. Look at how using the makeup to cover up a bruise puts you in a place of business where God knew you was going to be strong enough to thrive for.
yep.
Like you did the photo shoot for Timeless, and I kept on saying like, I don't even know how to pose. He
Oh,
was like,
yeah.
all right, so what song you like? You put the song on, and we had an awesome freaking
We
time.
had an
So it's
awesome
like
time.
you what you went through is going to make you tougher and make you stronger to share that and spread it to the next person, and then the next person, and then the next person. That's what all of that is for.
It's
And
just
it's hard.
It's
like,
hard,
God, why
yeah.
you pick me to do that?
Right.
I never said I was strong enough for this.
Right.
But it's a reason why. And it's going to all come around 360. You're going to see it, and you're going to be able to share it with somebody else without a tear, without a care, and you're going to help be able to pull somebody
That's
else
right.
out, just like Kelly was able to come in and get you. Somebody, you're going to be able to do that with somebody else, and it's going to be
Yep.
easier for you because you being rebaptized. You was like, I've been baptized before, but I'm going to get baptized again. Like, you're doing your whole spiritual walk all over again.
I am.
Your studio is just beautiful.
Thank
I
you.
want to take my photo shoot back in the break room. That's how much I love the break room.
Listen,
Like,
you are welcome.
you have so much going on, and I'm just very happy for you and thankful that it manifests this way. I'm
Right.
really happy for you. Once I heard the story, that's why I was like, Tiffany, you want to
And
we talk about this.
Exactly. And let me tell you, like, after my grandmother died, I know a lot of people say like stuff like that change. I was like, I got to go. I have to prove to my grandmother that I made it out.
Yeah,
Because
that I am
when
what she created.
When she first seen him, she was just moving. She was going on a trip, and she was putting her bags in the car, and she looked at him, and she said, "Oh, he not for you." And put that bag over there. And I said, "You didn't even give him a chance, Mama. You just looked at him." And she was like,
She already know.
I said, he's not for you.
She already knew.
I said he's not for you. So I was like, yeah, it's time to get myself together. I gotta go.
We were actually, Monette, thank you for being my co-producer. I was just about to say that. Monette said, "Can you drop the name of your business?" So drop your
course.
business name and a location.
My
and all of
business
that.
name is, well, you can look me up on social media. It's Triple Love Lens and Beauty. So Triple Love Lens and Beauty. And how about if you jump into my DM just to say hello so I can follow you back or send you things directly, just let me know.
She laughing at me now because I did, but I was going to get to it, but she just kind of beat me to the punch.
Right.
So that's what else we just talked about. How did you start getting into makeup and then turning it into a business? What made you turn the makeup into a business?
I mean, well, because of the fights and stuff like that, I was
Yeah.
using makeup. Yep, he would take me out house into the mall and we buying makeup. And then one year we had a real bad snowstorm, real bad. I know you probably remember. I mean, it was up there. And he, as soon as that snow melted, he took me to the Mac store and was like, buy everything you need. And I looked at him and I'm like, you don't even want to stop? Like, you breezing up my face?
So
Like,
you
come on
rather
now.
go? He rather take you to go get as much expensive makeup as possible.
Yep.
Than to.
Yep. And then, that's when other people would look at me like, who did your face? And I'm like, me. They're like, you did a good job. As a matter of fact, his mother was my first client. His mother, his sisters, and then I was doing $25 faces to $30 to $45 to $50.
Because you do great work.
Going
great
up,
work,
yep.
Let me say that. So, again, one more time, tell a business name and where they can find you. Before we go, I want everybody to make sure
Okay,
they got
my
it.
business name is Triple Love Lens and Beauty.
Lens is Lens.
Yes.
Before anybody misspell it wrong.
Yes,
Okay.
Lens and Beauty. Triple Love Lens and Beauty, y'all. I'm not hard to find. Just pull me up on Instagram. I'm sorry, I'm not a Facebook girly, but I am. I'm going to start. But
And y'all
Triple
can
Love
always
Lens and Beauty.
hit Miss V up, and I can forward y'all the information, and y'all can get to it. Before I go past, Bruce said, the sister is a powerful example of resilience and grace. My prayer is that God arrests her completely as she starts her ministry. Salute to a dear sister. And that's what I believe, Bruce.
Thank you.
And I said that the other day, actually, when I was talking to your mother, and I was saying it to your mother, and she had me cracking up about something. But seeing you walk around at the function and how you was just like here, there, everywhere. And I said, she is just so worried about everybody else being great. Let's get to the ribbon cutting. And I kept trying to pull you back to the time and focus on that.
You was
Tiffany,
really
we
on
got
it.
5 minutes before we cut. But you was like
You
all
was
over
on
the place.
it.
So you are ready for what God has you. And it is some stuff we got to go through.
Yeah.
If my mother hadn't passed, I probably would be a spoiled, awful brat wouldn't want to work nowhere. But she gone and I had to man up. So it is what it is. I had to know that it's okay to leave a husband even though he give you everything under the sun.
It's
still
okay
a
to go.
mental war game he's playing with you. So, you know,
And you
sometimes
gotta get,
it
and we
takes
gotta
that.
get out of that. And again, back to my grandmother, if she didn't want anything else, she did not want me to be with him. So
Mona said you got her looking on Facebook.
she old.
She
No,
old.
go to
Mona,
IG.
Go to IG.
Now I do have a Facebook, but it's like like it's just
Yeah,
like it's
your
just
personal page.
yeah, it's
But yeah.
yeah.
I didn't. Okay.
You'll see it in a
I
minute.
dropped it. I'm a drop the ball and go ahead and head over to Facebook.
All right. So I'm not even sure where.
It's on Instagram.
Oh, okay. So that's probably over there, and I'm not even getting it. It's stuff coming up all over the place, y'all. I can't see everything, and I truly apologize. If you see it, Big Fella from the Park, could you read it for me, please? Because it's not coming up on my
No,
end.
I just posted
Oh, you tagged
Instagram.
her
Oh, he
Instagram.
tagged
Okay,
in the
so
comments,
okay.
so,
in the
so her Instagram is tagged in the comments. We're gonna come back. We're gonna do some fun stuff with her next interview. We're just gonna laugh about how Big Fella from the Park shares his chicken salad sandwich or something. All right, y'all. This has been your girl Miss V and my guest. Give them your name.
Tiffany
please.
Shantae,
Okay, and your business is
Triple Love Lens and Beauty.
get with it or get gone. 'Cause peace, we are out.